Hello everyone, Auvbri here, and I'm finally back in The Sims 4 doing another speed build. This build was requested by one of the subscribers. I can't actually remember her name, but I think you know who you are. So she asked me if I could build a house where it was connected by a bridge in between. And I thought that was a really cool idea, so I decided to just go ahead and draw a house and try to actually make this house come to life, and I think I did a pretty good job. It looks really cool in the end, and it's a big family house, so definitely a lot of space. It's a big house. It's a fairly big house, one of the bigger houses I have done recently. All of the houses have been kind of small, but yeah, I really wanted to do this just because I thought it was a really cool idea. So it is a modern house, definitely, because modern is my favorite kind of style at the moment. And I really do like to kind of mix it up and, use the modern with these new colors that I got from the movie stuff pack. I think it looks pretty cool when I kind of combine those two. So that's what I did. Just creating the front of the house here, or what you can call the front, where the entrance is into the house, and at the back, I call it, at the back of the house, we also have like a little porch area where you can kind of sit and have a barbecue if you want to do that. There is a barbecue backstairs at the end of this build, and there's a really nice garden. It's not like really super modern garden. It's kind of like kind of like a managed garden with kind of this old feel to it. It's definitely a more classy house, this house as well. So I'm just kind of doing the groundwork for the entire, what the house is actually going to look like. And as you can see, this build is fairly long. It's almost 16 minutes long. I read the comment that some of you feel like you're getting dizzy when watching these videos, and I really do apologize for that. I have this time I have not sped up the video as much as I usually do, just because I want to take into consideration what you guys are actually saying. It's never nice to get told that your videos make people dizzy, but from what I can tell, you guys still like it, so that's really cool, and I really appreciate that. I appreciate all of the negative and positive feedback that I can get. I really want to make this channel as good as it can possibly get. So I turned down the speed a little bit, so it's not as sped up as it usually is. Normally I kind of speed it up by 700%, but this time it's only 500, which also makes the video a bit longer, but it's not as fast as it usually is. But I'm just working on the windows here, and as you can see, we still have the bridge in the middle connecting both kind of the upstairs. There is going to be a separation of the upstairs, so I have two sets of stairs. I have one in each corner of the house, so you can still get upstairs to both places of the upstairs, but it is going to be separated, so you actually have to use the bridge to get, if you're upstairs, to get over to the other side of the upstairs. And I thought that was a cool idea. Also, so this house has a big kitchen, and it has a big dining room. It has a living room. It has several bedrooms. I mean, like a lot of bedrooms. One of them is a kid's room. Of course, there's a master bedroom. Tons of balconies. A lot of toilets. And it has a lot of just like little places to read and sit down, relax. And it also has like a little library place where I actually put in a glass flooring, from the Get Together expansion. I kind of used that just because I thought it gave it a cool vibe. And just putting in some doors here. I chose this door to all of the rooms, just because it's probably my favorite door at the moment to kind of, use for rooms. It's super modern. I like having those little glass windows inside of the door. I know it's maybe not that realistic to have it on a bathroom, but it looks cool, and I'm definitely happy with that. It's not like your sim is going to be like, oh my god, you can see me sitting here on the toilet, what should I do? I think they only do that if you're actually in the room with that other sim, so that's great. So yeah, again, in this house I chose to have a really modern style, but I also tried to incorporate a lot of color into it. So as you can see here, the kitchen is blue, and the dining room is going to be on the other side of that half wall. Also incorporated a lot of color into that. I want to have my bills. I want my bills to have a lot of color in them, just because when I do this with white walls and stone walls and stuff like that, it can seem a bit. Minimalistic, and I don't want that. I want to incorporate a lot of color into it, so it really seems vibrant and a cool place to live. And blue is definitely one of my favorite color. This navy blue color, I'm absolutely in love with that. So that's probably a color I use a bit too much, but I think it's okay. It's kind of my signature color, go-to color. But then you can see here in the dining room, I kind of chose to have like this lime green color because I thought that looked really, really cool with the blue color that we have in the kitchen. Again, a lot of color from the rug that is under the dining room table. Some colors on the walls here, and yeah, just a lot of decorative items just to make the place feel really, really vibrant and alive. In the corner there, just placing some seating areas. Again, one of these puffs with a lot of color in it, just because I think it looks really cool, and kind of break up the wooden flooring with some rugs here, just because as much as I love wooden floorings, it can seem a bit too what can you say, a bit too like harsh, and just like a bit too damn, I'm missing a word. I think you guys know what I mean. It can just seem a bit too harsh looking and a bit too clean looking. So a good rug is a really good way to kind of break up that harshness of the wood. And I actually built this house over 2 days, just because it was a really, really big house, and when I actually was about to finish it, I still missed a couple of rooms to furnish, and it was just like, at first I was like, you know what, just upload it as it is, and then people can have like rooms by themselves to furnish. But I didn't want to do that. I really wanted to make this room what it was, and finish it. So here we have the living room, and I thought, you know what, let's have a big cool looking flat screen on the wall, and contrast that with a lot of color in here in the living room. And I thought that turned out really nice. And I just had this stone wall in the corner there. I'm also going to separate it by a bookcase, as you can see there. I was just testing if she could actually walk through. She can, so that's really good. And a lot of plants. And here I kind of put in a piano, a grand piano, just because, why not? I can do that. It's all good. And I needed something to actually place into that room. So it was just like, okay, grand piano it is. Moving upstairs in this great big house. So if you haven't already seen it in the title, this house is actually called Brigde In-between. And I thought that was a really, really clever way of actually having the bridge in between. Just call it that. That's exactly what this house is. It's a house with a bridge in between. So this is the Brigde In-between house. Working on the bathrooms here. This is the master bathroom for the big master bedroom that we have, and this is just a little toilet. Not actually that much in here, just a toilet and a sink. It wasn't going to be a big thing. It was just like this little room, and I needed to have an extra toilet for your sim to actually work. So this is one of the, I like it to call it a guest bedroom just because it's not that big. It only has the essential things that you actually need for it to function. A bed, a dresser, and a mirror, and that's kind of it. That's all this room has. So it's kind of like it's a guest bedroom. Let's just face it, it's a guest bedroom. Moving on to the master bedroom here, and I decided to place a chair right when you walk into the master bedroom room, just to kind of break it up. I wanted to have a lot of neutral colors in here, so I just decided to have like this grays, whites, and blacks, and just complement them with some some chairs with some colors in, and plants and stuff like that. And I initially wanted to have a walk-in closet in this master bedroom, but I decided not to do that just because it was like, okay, it just feels a bit too cramped in here already, so let's not do that. At this point, I was kind of finished with the build in my mind. I didn't want to do anymore, so I just moved outside to finish the outside. It turned out really cool at the outside. Not a lot of color out here. I just decided to go with your basic whites and green plants. Under the trees, I have like these bluish, purple flower thingies. Not actually sure what they're called. And I decided to bring in some of the old-looking, bench and some statues and stuff like that, just to kind of make it feel like it's a garden that's taken care of, but they also appreciate the old stuff that actually exists in the world. Sorry, that was a really hard word to say. Putting in a trash can, because I usually forget to do that. And this is the second part of the video. I was just like, you know what? Just finish it, furnish every room, every hallway, and I just did that. It didn't actually take that long. It was like 15 minutes or something. But when you actually are sitting down and furnishing a house, you just come to a point where it's like, oh my god, this is taking forever. And I'm running out of ideas. So I decided to just come back to it with a fresh set of eyes and just furnish the last rooms here. So I'm just going around here. This is the little library that I talked about in the beginning with the glass flooring. I thought that looked cool as all hell. Putting in a chair and a lamp, and that's really all that's in here. Just some wall decorations and stuff like that for the hallway that kind of combines the rooms at this part of the upstairs. And I decided to have a children's room, in this case a girl's room, in this last room that's upstairs, just to kind of, finish it off. And I just decided to go with red, this really basic kid girl's room color, and put a lot of toys in there, a lot of things on the wall just to make it look realistic. She was apparently really into dinosaurs. And then we're moving into the pictures here in right now. And here you have it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And for the subscriber that actually requested this house, thank you so much for the request. I really hope you enjoyed this house, and I hope you all enjoyed this house. I really did my best, and I hope this is exactly what you wanted. If it's not, well, that's just the way it is, but I really hope you enjoy it. Remember, you can download this house from the gallery. I still have some trouble with the link from the website. It's like when I actually search my origin ID in there, it says that it doesn't exist. So that's kind of like, okay, EA, what the hell is going on? So I'm still working on that, emailing back and forth with EA to kind of fix that issue. But you can definitely find it inside of the game. Just search Auvbri and you should be able to find all of my builds rooms, all the things I do. Follow me on there, subscribe, like, and share this video also if you enjoyed it. It really helps me out a great big deal, and this channel is growing so freaking fast at the moment, so that's a really positive thing. I'm so happy. But nothing else for me to say, just have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time for another video. My name is Auvbri. Bye!